it because it's just there's outliers in this world, in everything. There's outliers in athletics. But when it comes to like discipline and motivation and just when you look at someone who's just undeniable, like Jocko's one of those guys. He's just undeniable.
He's a specimen. He's definitely off the graph. Yeah,
I'd met him a long time ago when he was training with Dean Lister, and Dean was fighting in the UFC. I remember meeting him, and I'm like, what's that guy's deal? There's certain dudes that have got a whole lot of shit going on behind their eyes. You're like, okay, that guy's seen some stuff,
Yeah, I'll tell you a funny Jocko story. I guess I can tell this story in public. It's pretty funny. So Jocko was in New York just after his book came out, and and I was like, look, I want to introduce you to some of my buddies who run hedge funds here, because a lot of what Jocko does is he and his partner, like they consult with guys like this doing leadership stuff. And so we went up to the offices of one of my friends who has this very famous hedge fund, and his office is like on the 50th floor on Park, and it's like a beautiful view down Park. And we're just sitting there in his office just shooting the shit, and I forget how it came up, but somehow we were just talking about like how good is a sniper? Like, what does it actually take? And then of course we're talking very specifically about I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. Chris Bradley Cooper played him in. Chris Kyle. Yeah, Chris Kyle. We're talking because Chris Kyle had been part of Jocko's team. I forget which SEAL team. Maybe it was when he was SEAL Team 2. But in fact, I think Jocko said, he goes, Chris was a part of my team for more of his kills than any of his other kills. And so then we were like, what sets him apart? I mean, obviously any Navy SEAL sniper has got to be amazing, but Chris took it to another level. What was it? And he said, okay, let me show you what it was. So he walked us over to the window, and he goes, okay, you see that guy in that hat over there, like about a mile down the, you could basically see it because it was like a pink hat or something. I said, yeah. He goes, okay, if you're a sniper, you got to be able to lay down, not move, and put your eye up against this thing and like look out at him. And you can't, if you ever take your eye off that, you're going to lose the sight. So you got to be able to stay in that position and not move and do that. He goes, and I forget what the number was, but Jocko said the average Navy SEAL sniper can stay in that position without moving, eye glued to the sight for X number of minutes. And I forget what the number was. Maybe it was like 15 minutes. He's like, Chris could do that for 2 hours. He could lay in that position, not moving and not taking his eye off that thing with one eye shut for hours. And he just had a different gear. Ooh. And it was just an amazing, those are some of my favorite moments with Jocko, is when he like can tell you something that is like there are like maybe 3 people in the world that would understand why that matters,
Sniping is really fascinating, right? Because just sharpshooting, just being able to shoot something at a distance, and long distance shooting is it's a big sport. I mean, in terms of target shooting, there's guys that are out there, they're shooting 1,500 yards and doing it competitively. That's a crazy distance.
It's amazing.
It's a crazy distance. But when you think about it, you got a rifle, it's on a rest. You're sitting, you're either on a bench or you're prone or whatever it is. You're lying down most of the time. This is all it is. It's this with your finger. Pull, 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 boom. Some people are way better at that. Just think of that. Coordinating your vision, getting the reticle set on the target, pulling that, and without movement. The outliers are the people who can do that. And you got to think, like, when you break down physical movements, right? Like, you watch a gymnastics routine in the Olympics, like, holy shit, and it flips and the land and they stick, and it's incredible. But now break it down to just the movement of your trigger finger. Pull, 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 bang. No movement. I'm sure you've shot guns, but it's hard to, like, if you shoot pistols and you have dummy rounds, like a lot of people, they mix in dummy rounds so that they find out they're jerking the trigger.
Yeah.
And when you see, like, I was watching a video with Tim Kennedy, and Tim Kennedy was shooting at the range, and he's pulling bang, bang, bang. and it goes click, and he goes, "Woo! Look at that trigger control!" Like because it was the way he pulled it.
Right.
It didn't go off target. It didn't move. There was no punch to it. But you gotta fucking practice forever just to be able to do that. Just to not anticipate the recoil of the gun and yank and move and twitch and just controlling the mind. I mean, it's a fascinating thing to me that just pulling this one finger. You would think fucking anybody could do that. I could show you how to do that.
Right.
Like I've had friends that say they want to go hunting. I want to go hunting. What do I do? Where do I get a bow? I'm like, slow down. Let's get you a rifle because I could teach you how to shoot a rifle. We could get someone. We could sight in your rifle. We'll go to the range. We'll sight it in at 100 yards. Get you a good, accurate rifle, and then all you have to do is kind of keep it together. A rifle. We get into 100 yards of a wild pig. You're going to be able to kill this thing 100%. You got years before you're going to be able to shoot that thing with a bow. I mean, fucking years.